Hello students, welcome to my channel. I am Hashim Ali Khan here. Presently, I am giving the lectures on the subject Financial Accounting 1. In this subject already I have provided the videos, I have given the lectures on bank reconciliation statement, rectification of errors and final accounts of sole trading concerns. Now I am going to start the new topic in this subject, that is depreciation. So in this video, I'm going to explain you in detail regarding the meaning and definition of depreciation, characteristics of depreciation, causes of depreciation, reasons why we have to provide depreciation, and what are the different methods of charging depreciation, what are the journal entries to be passed, and the accounting for depreciation, what are the rules regarding accounting for depreciation. All these things I'm going to explain you in detail, so keep watching till the end, don't skip in between. For your benefit I'm saying. So if you are new to my channel, I suggest you to visit the playlist of my channel. I have given a number of videos on different subjects like advanced accounting, cost accounting, corporate accounting, financial accounting, business statistics, financial management, investment management. So many videos I am go on uploading for your benefit. So select your concerned subject, watch the video, get a lot of knowledge from these videos, get the confidence on your subjects. So now I'm going to start the next topic, that is depreciation. First of all, I'm going to explain you the meaning and definition of the term depreciation. In simple words, we can say depreciation is the decrease in the value of the asset. Now see, every business will use fixed asset. When we use the fixed assets, whether tangible or intangible, the value of the assets will gradually decrease. That decrease in the value of the asset due to a number of causes like wear and tear, obsolescence, diminution, etc., efflux of time. So many causes are there. On account of these causes, the value of the asset will decrease. That decrease in value of asset is called depreciation. A number of renowned authors have given different definitions to the term depreciation. Pickles, one of the authors, says, depreciation is a continuous and permanent decrease, diminution in the quantity, quality and value of the asset. This is the definition given by Pickles. One more author is the Carter. He says depreciation is defined as the decrease in the value of the asset on account of number of causes. And according to renowned authority AICPA, American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, it has defined depreciation accounting is a system of accounting which aims at allocating the cost of tangible capital asset, less scrap value if any, over the estimated useful life of the asset in a systematic and rational manner. So this is the definition given by AICPA. From all these definitions given by different authorities, ultimately it comes to the meaning that depreciation is the decrease in the value of the asset when the assets are used in the business. That is the meaning and definition of depreciation. I have explained you the meaning and definition of depreciation. Now, the characteristics of depreciation. What are the characteristics of depreciation? The first characteristic, it's a gradual, permanent and continuous decrease. Depreciation is not a one-time act. It's a gradual, continuous and permanent over the life of the asset. Throughout the life of the asset, depreciation has to be provided. First characteristic. Second characteristic, process of allocation of cost of asset. Actually, the cost of the asset is allocated over the life of the asset. Example, we have spent 1 lakh rupees in purchasing a machine. 1 lakh rupees we have spent in purchasing a machine. This cost of 1 lakh will be spreaded over the life of the asset. Suppose the life of the asset is 10 years. So in 10 years period, we are spreading this 1 lakh rupees, that is allocating the cost of the asset. Third one, not a substitute for repairs. You should not think that these repairs and depreciation are synonymous or substitute. Not a substitute. Even after depreciation, we have to provide the repairs. We have to incur the cost on repairs. Repairs will always be there, and depreciation will also be there. So it is not a substitute. Both will exist. Next is due to use of asset. The depreciation will normally arise when the asset is used in the business for operating activities. Next one is based on cost, not on market value. The depreciation will be calculated on the cost of the asset, not on the market value of the asset. Example, we have purchased a machine for rupees 1 lakh, so cost of the asset is 1 lakh. So we will calculate depreciation on cost of 1 lakh. The market value of the machine may increase or decrease. We are not concerned while calculating depreciation. This is one of the characteristics. Next is in respect of fixed assets. Normally depreciation will be calculated, charged on fixed asset. The fixed asset may be tangible or intangible. Next one is charge against profits. For calculating the profit or loss of the business, we charge all the expenses, whether the expenses are cash expenses or non-cash expenses. So for calculating profit, we charge all cash expenses like salaries, rent, printing, stationery, postage, telephone, telegram, advertisement. All these are cash expenses. Apart from cash expenses, we have to provide for non-cash expense also. And the classical example of non-cash expense is depreciation. So depreciation is also a charge against profit. Without calculating depreciation, we cannot get the true profit. So these are the characteristic features. So I explained you about the meaning, definition of depreciation and characteristic features. Now, distinction between depreciation, depletion and amortization. There is a thin thread of difference between these three terms. Actually, depreciation is a very wide term which includes depletion as well as amortization. Normally, depreciation will make use in charging depreciation on fixed assets. Depreciation is the term which is used for allocating the cost of tangible fixed assets like land and building, plant and machinery, furniture, equipment. These are the tangible fixed assets. We use the term depreciation. For depletion, depletion is the term which is used for wasting assets, tangible wasting assets like stone quarries, oil refineries, then minerals, to extract minerals from the earth. These are the wasting assets. So in terms of wasting assets, when we extract, the value of the asset will come down. Just like stone quarries are there, or coal mines are there, oil fields are there. So as long as we extract the resources from the nature, the value will decrease. That is called depletion. And amortization is the writing off of intangible assets. Intangible assets like goodwill, patent right, copyright, license, trademarks, etc. These are the intangible assets. Over a period of time, we'll write it off. So, writing off of intangible asset, we use the term amortization. These are some of the differences between depreciation, depletion and amortization. Now I'm going to explain you about the reasons for charging depreciation, why it is necessary to charge depreciation. What will happen if we charge depreciation? The first reason is to allocate depreciable asset, depreciable cost. To allocate, see here, in order to find out the profit, we have to charge the cost, whatever is the cost. So we will incur revenue cost as well as capital cost. Revenue cost, revenue expenditure means the expenditure which is incurred whose benefit will expire within a period, within 1 year. Like salary paid, rent paid, these are revenue expenditure whose benefit will expire within a period of 1 year. So apart from that, we are incurring capital expenditure, purchasing the machinery, We are incurring huge expenditure, but the benefit will accrue over a long period of time, like 10 years, 15 years, like that. So we have to spread the cost of that asset over the life of the asset. This is called allocating the cost of the asset. Because we are incurring cost, the cost should be absorbed in the business revenues. The cost should be absorbed in the business revenues to find out the profit. So first reason why we calculate depreciation is allocating the cost over the life of the asset. Second one, to ascertain true profit or loss. Every business has to find out whether during a particular year, particular period of time, whether business has earned profit or incurred loss. To find out the profit earned or loss incurred, all expenditure should be taken into account, whether it is cash or non-cash. If you charge all expenses cash as well as non-cash, then only you can be able to get the true profit, correct profit. Otherwise, if you ignore this depreciation, your profit will not be true, will not be correct. So that's why it is compulsory to provide depreciation to find out the true profit. Next, to show the correct financial position. See here, if we do not provide depreciation, the fixed asset will not show the true value in the balance sheet. When the balance sheet when the assets are not showing at its true value, the financial position we cannot get, the correct financial position we cannot get. So in order to find out the correct financial position, the correct balance sheet, depreciation should be provided from the fixed assets. Without that, your balance sheet will not show the true financial position. Next one is to provide funds for replacement. See here, when an asset is purchased, it has a specific estimated life. At the end of the life, the asset will become useless, scrapped. When the asset is scrapped, we must have sufficient funds to replace the asset. So depreciation will be provided in order to arrange it for replacement of asset, because when we provide depreciation, then what will happen? Our profit will get reduced. We can be able to save the funds. And these funds can be utilized for replacing the asset. Last one, to compute the tax liability. According to Income Tax Act, depreciation is a chargeable expense. Depreciation is a chargeable expense. That means we can charge depreciation in order to find out the income for tax purpose. The income for tax purpose, we can charge depreciation. If we charge depreciation, our tax liability will come down. So on account of all these reasons, it is compulsory to provide depreciation when assets are used in the business. Now next, causes of depreciation. Why depreciation will arise? What are the causes? First is wear and tear, usage. When we use the asset, definitely the value will come down. For example, if you purchase a bike, every day we are using the bike, we are running the bike for 30-40 kilometers. Then what will happen? As we use the bike, the value of the bike will come down because of wear and tear. Same is the case with plant and machinery. When we use plant and machinery in our business, the value of plant and machinery will go on by using. So wear and tear is the first cause of depreciation. Secondly, efflux of time. Some assets are there which have some legal specific legal life it is having. Just like patents, trademarks. It will have a specific life. So only for that particular period of time it is having its life. So that means after that period of time it is valueless. So depreciation will arise according to efflux of time, whether we use it or not. Then obsolescence. The meaning of obsolescence is outdated. As there is development, technological development taking place, the old machinery, the old equipment are going to become outdated. Just like earlier typewriters were there some 20-30 years back. Nowadays typewriters are not found because it has been replaced by printers and keyboards of the computers. In that sense, we can say that typewriters has become obsolete, outdated. So on account of obsolescence also, depreciation will arise. Obsolescence, outdated due to advancement in technology. Exhaustion. When wasting assets are continuously used, then definitely a time will come when the asset will become exhaust. Example, simple example I'll give you, a coal mine. A coal mine is there, the company is extracting coal from that mine. So a point of time will come when we can't be able to get the coal is completely exhausted. So as we extract the coal from the earth, we have to provide for depreciation because the value of that asset is declining. So these are some of the causes why depreciation should be provided. Now, basic factors for calculating depreciation. What are the basic factors that must be considered for calculating depreciation? The first is original cost of the asset. Second, estimated working life. Estimated because we cannot say the exact life of the asset, but the manufacturer of that asset can give an estimated life. For example, a machinery can be said, the manufacturer of the machinery will declare that this machine will have a working life of 15 years. So this 15 years has been decided by the manufacturer. It says within 15 years it will run smoothly. After 15 years we won't guarantee, we can't give the guarantee. Then residual value or scrap value. At the end of the useful life of the asset, we can sell the asset at scrap value. So we can get some residual value, scrap value at the end of the estimated life. So these are the three factors which must be considered for calculating depreciation. That is original cost of the asset, estimated working life, and estimated scrap value. Then methods of providing depreciation. See here, a number of methods are there for providing or calculating depreciation. Every method will have their own merits and demerits. One by one we'll discuss. First method, very commonly used method is fixed installment method or original cost method or straight line method. All the three means same. Sometimes it is called as fixed installment method. Sometimes it is called as original cost method. Sometimes it is called as straight line method. Means same. It's a method of calculating depreciation at a fixed percentage on the original cost of the asset. Example, the machine value is, let it be 1 lakh, 100,000. The machine value is 100,000. So on this 1 lakh rupees, depreciation is 10%. So if we calculate 10% of 1 lakh, 10,000. So 10,000 rupees is the annual depreciation. Every year it will remain same for the life of the asset. So this method is called original cost method. And one more formula is there. This annual depreciation according to straight line method, we can get cost minus scrap value divided by life of the asset. The cost of the asset, let the cost of the asset be 1 lakh. The estimated scrap value at the end of its life is 10,000. Suppose the cost of the asset 1 lakh, estimated scrap value 10,000. So 1 lakh minus 10,000, 90,000 divided by life of the asset. Suppose the life of the asset is 10 years. So 90,000 divided by 10, 9,000 rupees is the annual depreciation. It will remain same every year. So two methods are there here. Original cost method. In this method, we are given a fixed percentage. That percentage we apply on original cost to get the annual depreciation, and the annual depreciation will remain constant every year. In some problems, residual value and scrap value will be given. Percentage is not given. In that case, cost minus scrap divided by life. You will get the annual depreciation. This method is they will have some advantage, merits as well as demerits. The merit of this method is it's very easy to calculate. It is very easy to understand, easy to calculate. And one more advantage is ultimately after providing full all depreciation for all the years, the value at the end of the life of the asset will become zero. The value of the asset will become zero at the end of the life of the asset. These are the merits of this. But demerits are there is no uniformity between repairs and depreciation. See, depreciation is constant every year, but repairs expenditure will increase as the asset become older and older. The new machine, new asset, we will not have much repairs. But as the machine is used for a number of years, the repairs will increase. But depreciation will remain constant. So there is no uniformity. And secondly, interest will not be considered in calculating depreciation. So we have merits as well as demerits. Suitability, normally in case of building, furniture, etc., we apply leasehold property, we apply straight line method of depreciation. Now second method is diminishing balance method. Diminishing balance method or written down value method or reducing installment method. Again, three different names are there, ultimately it means same. Diminishing balance method or written down value method or reducing installment method. In this method, a fixed percentage will be calculated on the written down value of the asset. What is this written down value? Simple example I'll give you. Suppose the cost of the asset is 1 lakh, 100,000, and depreciation is provided at 10% every year on reducing balance method, on written down value method or diminishing balance method. So how to calculate 10% of 1 lakh rupees, 100,000. So 10% of 100,000, 10,000. The first year depreciation we will take 10,000 rupees. Next year the written down value for the second year will be 1 lakh minus 10,000. Beginning of the year we were having 1 lakh. First year we have provided depreciation 10,000. So second year its written down value will be 90,000. Now we calculate 10% of 90,000, 9,000. So second year depreciation 9,000. So 90,000 minus 9,000, 81,000 is the written down value for the third year. In third year, 10% of 81,000, 8,100. So first year depreciation 10,000, second year depreciation 9,000, third year depreciation 8,100. So every year depreciation is diminishing, decreasing. That's why its name is given as diminishing balance method. Now this method will have its own advantages and disadvantages, merits and demerits. The merit is it's very easy to understand. Easily we can understand, we can calculate. But the disadvantage is the asset value cannot be brought to zero at the end of the life of the asset. And the one more advantage is there is uniformity between the repairs and the depreciation. In the initial years, depreciation is more, repair is less. In the later years, depreciation will be less and repairs will be more. So there is a balance between repairs and depreciation in this method. Now this method is more suitable in case of plant and machinery, equipment, etc. This method is suitable for plant and machinery, etc. Now these two are the most commonly used methods. Apart from that, we have annuity method. Annuity method of depreciation will be applied in that case where we calculate depreciation not only on the cost but also on the interest charges on amount invested in asset. We treat the purchase of asset as investment. For example, if we purchase a machine for 1 lakh rupees, 100,000, so we will treat this 1 lakh rupees purchase of asset as an investment. When we invest the money in a bank, we'll get the interest. When we invest the money in a capital market, we may get the dividend or return interest. So we treat that purchasing asset is also one of the investment. We have to calculate the interest on that investment. So every year interest is calculated and added to the asset. The entry will be asset account data to interest account. So value of asset will increase. For example, first year 1 lakh rupees is the 100,000, 1 lakh rupees is the cost of the machine. We treat this 1 lakh rupees as an investment. So on that 1 lakh rupees, we calculate 10% is the rate of interest. Rate of interest 10%. So 1 lakh into 10%, 10,000. So value will be added 10,000. Now we calculate depreciation on 1 lakh 10,000 rupees, including interest. The cost of the asset includes original cost plus interest charges. We add up both and calculate the depreciation. That is called annuity method. The next method is depreciation fund method or sinking fund method. In this method is more suitable for replacing the asset. So every year depreciation is calculated and the amount of depreciation will be invested in securities, marketable securities. Every year return we will get the return on those securities, and that return will also be added in securities. For example, first year 1 lakh rupees, 100,000 rupees we have purchased a machine. At the end of first year 10,000 rupees is the depreciation. We purchase securities for that 10,000 rupees. Every year we purchase securities to the extent of the amount of depreciation, and we earn return also, interest also on that securities. We add up that securities also, interest also in that security. So the securities will get accumulated. At the end of the life of the asset, we will have so many securities which we have purchased during the life of the asset. Now at the expiry of the life of the asset, we sell away all the securities, realize the cash and purchase a new fixed asset. So this is called depreciation fund method or sinking fund method. Next, insurance policy method. This insurance policy method is very similar to depreciation fund method. The only difference, we will not purchase the security. We will not purchase the securities, but we will take an insurance policy. Every year we pay the premium to the insurance company. The insurance company will pay a lump sum amount at the end of the expiry of the life of the asset. For example, we have purchased a machine worth rupees 10 lakh, worth rupees 1 lakh. We have purchased a machine worth rupees 1 lakh. Now we want to take an insurance policy on this machine so that at the end of 10 years of life, we can be able to get the amount from insurance company and we can be able to replace the machine. So instead of doing the investment ourselves, we are handing over the money to the insurance company and asking the insurance company that I want so and so rupees after 10 years. Insurance company will pay after 10 years so that amount and will purchase a new machine. This is insurance policy method. Revaluation method. In case of revaluation method, every year we calculate the new value of the asset at the end of the year. For example, we have purchased an equipment. On 1st January, beginning of the year, the value of the equipment is 1 lakh. At the end of the year, on 31st December, suppose we are closing the accounts on 31st December, we find out what is the present value of the asset. The present value of the asset is 80,000. Beginning of the year, the value was 1 lakh. End of the year, it has become 80,000. So 20,000 rupees is the depreciation. Simply by comparing value in the beginning, value in the end, we find out depreciation. Then depletion method. This depletion method will be used mainly for extracting the wasting assets. Extracting the wasting assets. So how to calculate in the depletion method, how to calculate the depreciation? See here, suppose the coal mine. We have purchased a coal mine for rupees 10 lakh. 10 lakh rupees. So we are paying the cost of that mine as 10 lakh. We expect 1 lakh units of coal. 1 lakh units of coal we can be able to extract it. The total cost of 10 lakh rupees divided by 1 lakh units. So we'll get 10 rupees per unit. We'll get 10 rupees per unit is the depreciation rate. Now in a particular year we find out how many units we have extracted. how many? Suppose 50,000. So I'm discussing about the depletion method. So depletion method is a method of charging depreciation in case of wasting assets like mines, ores, or oil refineries, etc. In this case, the wasting assets, the assets are extracted from the earth. In that case, the total cost, let the total cost to be 100,000, 1 lakh. And the number of units which we can extract is 1 lakh. So 10 lakh divided by 1 lakh, I told you 10 rupees per unit. So we multiply 10 rupees per unit with number of units extracted during a particular period. That method is called depletion method. Machine hour rate method. The machine hour rate method will be applied in those machines where the life of the machine is given in hours. Example, a machine manufacturer has specified that the life of this machine is, let it be 100,000, 1 lakh hours. 1 lakh hours. And the cost of the machine is 10 lakh rupees. 10 lakh rupees. So 10 lakh divided by 1 lakh, 10 rupees per hour. So we get the rate as 10 rupees per hour. So we calculate how many hours the machine was used during a particular period. Then that will be multiplied by 10. Example, 10,000 hours the machine was used. So 10,000 into 10, 1 lakh rupees is the depreciation. This is called machine hour rate method. So these are some of the methods of calculating the depreciation. Now last choice of the method. Which method is better? Every method will have their own merits and demerits. So we cannot say always the straight line method is the best one, or diminishing balance method is the best one, or sinking fund is the best method. No, every method will have their own merits and demerits. So to choose the method, it depends on the nature of the asset and the depreciation to be provided. So ultimately it depends on the nature of the asset, nature of the business. So on that basis only we have to choose a particular method. Example, straight line method is most suitable in case of lease, in case of building, etc. The diminishing balance method is suitable in case of equipment, in case of machinery, etc. Then depletion method will be used in cases of quarries, stone quarries, or coal mines, etc. Then revaluation method will be mostly used for tools, loose tools, etc. So we cannot say which method is better. It depends on the nature of the asset and the nature of the business. So this is the complete theory. Now the next topic is accounting treatment. What are the journal entries to be passed? When asset is purchased, remember, if you are perfect on journal entries, definitely while doing the problems you don't find any difficulty. So always entries are the ABC of accounting. So always you must have a strong hold, good knowledge about the journal entries. Now first, when asset is purchased, the entry will be asset account debtor to bank, because asset comes in. So we debit asset account, like furniture purchased, furniture account debtor to bank, machinery purchased, machinery account debtor to bank, building purchased, building account debtor to bank. So whatever asset you purchase, debit to the asset, credit bank. This is the entry when asset is purchased. When if installation expenses are paid, sometimes some incidental expenses will be paid along with the purchase of asset. Example, installation expenses, erection expenses. So all the incidental expenses to the purchasing of asset will be added to the asset. Will be added to the asset. The entry will be same. Asset account debtor to bank. Example, 1 lakh rupees is the cost of the machine we purchased. Entry will be machine account debtor 1 lakh to bank 1 lakh. After purchasing the machine, we have to spend 10,000 rupees on installation. 10,000 rupees we are spending on installation of the machine. Then entry will be same, machine account debtor to bank 10,000. Now the machine cost is not 1 lakh, 1 lakh 10,000. Then third one is for providing depreciation at the end of the year. When for 1 year machinery is used, at the end of the year the entry for depreciation is depreciation account debtor to asset account. Because depreciation is a loss, it is a non-cash expense. So we debit debit all expenses and losses. So depreciation is loss, so we debit to asset account. By crediting asset account, the asset value will decrease. The asset value will decrease when we credit the asset account. Next, for transfer of depreciation to profit and loss account. At the end of the year, all nominal accounts will be closed by transferring it to profit and loss account. So depreciation is also one of the nominal account. It will be closed by transferring it to profit and loss account. Entry will be profit and loss account data to depreciation. See here, when we charge depreciation, the entry was depreciation to asset. When we transfer the asset to profit and loss account data to depreciation. Means depreciation account is closed every year. Every year depreciation account will get closed. Next entry will be for the amount realized on sale of asset. Sometimes the asset is sold. The asset is sold. So when asset is sold, we realize the money. So we debit bank account. So entry bank account data to asset account because asset is going. So we credit asset account. When asset is purchased, we debit asset. When we sell the asset account is credited. So entry bank account data to asset account. For the loss on sale of asset, sometimes we incur a loss on the sale of asset. Example, if the book value of the asset is 80,000. 80,000 is the book value of the asset. Now we sold away this asset for 70,000. For 70,000 we sold away the asset. So there is 10,000 rupees loss on sale of asset. So entry for loss on sale of asset is profit and loss account data to asset account. So profit and loss account data to asset account. This is the entry for loss on sale. Suppose if there is a profit on sale, reverse the entry. Asset account data to profit and loss account. Suppose if the book value of the machine is 80,000 and we sold it for 90,000. So we are getting 10,000 rupees profit. In that case, the entry will be asset account data to profit and loss account. So these are the entries. Now accounting treatment when provision for depreciation account is maintained. Sometimes one more method is there for providing depreciation. Normally first method is depreciation account data to asset account. By passing this entry I have already passed. For providing depreciation at the end of the year, depreciation account data to asset account. So directly we reduce the value of the asset. But one more method is there for providing depreciation. That method is called provision for depreciation method. In this method, the entry for providing depreciation is depreciation account data to provision for depreciation. We will not credit asset account. Just unlike the previous method, first method. In the first method, we credit asset account. Second method, one more method is there, which is normally used by the business organizations. Asset account will not be credited. A new account is opened. That new account is called provision for depreciation account. So entry will be depreciation account data to provision for depreciation account. Now how we will present it in the balance sheet? In the balance sheet, we take the original cost of the asset on the asset side. From that, we deduct accumulated depreciation. So every year we are crediting this provision for depreciation. The provision for depreciation will show the accumulated depreciation. The original cost of the asset will remain same. Example, the original cost of the machine is 1,100,000. So on asset side, original cost always we show 1 lakh rupees only. But from that 1 lakh, we deduct the accumulated depreciation. For example, first year 10,000, second year 9,000. 2 years. 2 years accumulated depreciation is 19,000. So 1 lakh minus 19,000, take the amount in the order column. Here third year 8,100 is the depreciation. So we add up. 10,000 first year, second year 9,000, third year 8,100. Accumulate all the depreciation, deduct it from 1 lakh. Or else we can show 1 lakh rupees original cost only on asset side and accumulated depreciation, provision for depreciation, we can show it on the liability side. This is also one of the method of providing the depreciation. Last one, change in the method of depreciation. Sometimes a business organization wants to change the method of depreciation. For example, since last 10 years, we are providing the depreciation according to straight line method. Suppose last 5 years. Last 5 years, the business organization follows straight line method of depreciation. Current year, the business wants to change the depreciation from straight line to diminishing balance method. Now in this case, there are two different cases. The first case, the change can be given with immediate effect, or the change can be given from retrospective effect. If the change is to be given from the immediate effect, then it's very simple. No need of any adjustment. Directly we calculate depreciation according to diminishing balance method from the current year. We will forget about the past years. From current year onwards, we will provide depreciation according to diminishing. Previous years, we were calculated depreciation according to straight line method. Current year, we have changed it and applicable from the current year only. No adjustments are required. But if the change of method is required with retrospective effect, retrospective effect means from earlier period. So what we have to do is, we have to calculate the depreciation according to new method. According to new method, that is diminishing balance method, from the beginning. From the beginning till date. So from beginning till date, we calculate the new depreciation according to new method, and we compare the depreciation according to new method with the old method. Suppose the new method, diminishing balance method, the total depreciation up to current date is, let it be 40,000. 40,000 rupees is the depreciation according to new method. Whereas old method, already we have applied straight line method. So according to straight line method, we have calculated 30,000. So we have already provided 30,000 rupees according to straight line method in the past. But according to retrospective effect, the new method, the depreciation comes to 40,000. So still 10,000 rupees is the difference. That 10,000 rupees we have to provide depreciation during the current year. The entry will be profit and loss adjustment account data to asset account. Profit and loss adjustment account data to asset account for extra depreciation because of change of method. So this is the complete explanation about the topic depreciation. So I have explained to the best of my ability. Hope you got some knowledge about this topic of depreciation. It's very, very important. And without watching this theory, if you try to understand the problems, it will be difficult. So always you should not skip, you should not take lightly this explanation of depreciation. So I have explained you the meaning, definition, characteristics, and reasons why we have to provide depreciation, causes of depreciation, factors to be considered for calculating depreciation, methods of calculating depreciation, and what is the accounting treatment, what are the journal entries to be passed, and lastly I have explained you about the new method called provision for depreciation method and change of method. These are the things I have explained in detail. Hope you understood, you like my lecture. So if you are satisfied with my lecture, give a like to the video. Subscribe my channel if you have not yet subscribed. Share it in your group, in your friend circle. And lastly, don't forget to give your precious comments. I'll read each and every comment. That gives me more and more enthusiasm to give you much more better videos for your benefit. Okay, see you in the next video with the problems on depreciation.